Okay, everyone, we're about to get started here. Today is August 6th, 2021. It's another No FOMO Charts live stream. We're talking about stocks and crypto charts today. This is Technical Analysis Education. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Just waiting for the stream to stabilize before I start here. So please remember, this is just education only. This is not financial advice. If you have a question, go ahead and ask in the chat box right now. I'm going to review my trades, my profitable trades that I made this week after we do some stock index and Bitcoin analysis. So let's go ahead and get started. Thanks again for watching, following, subscribing. If you like this content upcoming, please consider subscribing and following and ask a question. This is going to be free for 2021 for a limited time. So here we go. All right. So DJI, the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. What is going on in this market? Okay, so what we need to realize is that we're in the closing end part of quarter 2 2021 earnings season, Q2 earnings season. There's about 1 week left, starting from next Monday, this upcoming Monday. So, what does that mean? Well, one more week to go of movement in the index. So, what has happened? We still have this resistance that has been just broken a little bit, all right? 35,500. Let me bring my drawings back. 35,500 is our top side ceiling resistance. We have a bottom side support at basically 34,808. There's another support at 34,253. And another support at 33,788. Why am I drawing these levels? Because any short-term pullback will bring us to one of these levels, right? So we could go up, we could continue to go up, right? If we bring some moving averages in for trend. Okay, we are in a short-term uptrend right now, uptrend in the Dow Jones. If we draw trend line, lighten that trend line up, then we're noticing a pattern here. We were in an ascending triangle pattern. We're in an ascending triangle pattern with a breakout. Okay, and we're holding on to this level right here. So this is fine. This is fine. It's just that we want to watch out a little bit. For some topping out action on the index itself, because we have been in an uptrend for 1 year confirmed, basically. 1 year confirmed. Okay, the DJI index up 92% from the pandemic low back in into March 2020. All right, there's a little bit of bearish divergence on the oscillators, so we could see a pullback someday within the next few months. Okay, so earnings is keeping the index alive and the market alive, but we could see a pullback down to one of these moving averages. -2%. -4%. If it's real bad, -9%. Okay, so just want to watch out for that in the Dow Jones Index. All right, next we'll go to S&P 500. So we did hit our target, okay? So we did not hit our downside target for the past week or so. And we hit our topside resistance target up here. All right, so that's good. Now, it's a little confusing with all these lines on the chart, so let me turn this off. So, again, we are in still a higher high, higher low uptrend. Okay. Switch to a weekly. It is a little bit overextended to the top side. There is technical bearish divergence. And we are significantly a little bit overextended on the monthly chart as well, so there's monthly divergence, but that might take a month's or year to play out. But the weekly is showing us there could be some potential topping out action happening in the S&P 500 on the day charts. So we're looking here, right? We're at the top of this trend line resistance, all right? So these targets still remain as such. The 443 range, okay, is our resistance on top on blue. This blue circle is probably not going to hit. So the next logical support level would be 436, worst case 428, all right? So 1% or 3% to the downside could totally happen, all right? So we just have to mentally prepare for that if it does happen after earnings, right? To me, the major factors are COVID-19 and the mutations, Delta, Lambda, variations, right? If that keeps getting worse, right? People don't get vaccinated, right? You keep hearing people get sick. There's going to be some fear in the market, right? So I want to watch out for that. Next, QQQ, NASDAQ. Okay, we hit our topside target of $369. All right, the higher high, higher low is still intact. And interesting to see, we broke out of this ascending wedge pattern, right? Broke out, test it, and now we're trying to scout the higher high price. So where does that leave us? Still in this uptrend. Uptrend still intact. However, yes, there is bearish divergence building. Okay, there is bearish divergence building. What does that mean? Is a pullback could happen, -3 to -6% on the index. The worst case, -10% in the next year, right? We've seen it happen before. This year related to COVID. This year related to COVID, right? So what do we have? We had -12, -6, right? So -6 to 12. So -9%, right? -6. That would -3 to -6 would make sense, bringing us to our 50 and 100-day moving averages, right? So it's been a nice rally for the past 2 months, 10% on the NASDAQ. Very nice, but there is some bearish divergence building, so we're going to watch out for the pullback. Watch out for the pullback. Okay. Next, Russell 2000. So on the daily, still consolidating, but hit the bottom of the support line, which is a strong support. Tested at 2128, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Bounced back up for the past month, 4%. Our target was the middle of this line, 2,238 in the price. All right, so what remains to be seen for the Russell 2000 is, again, we're having a little bit of topping out action. Okay, if this turns out to be a double top in the market, let me use blue. If this turns out to be a double top, all right, want to watch out. Okay, what's the measurement? Measure move, 14%. That's not impossible, right? 70% would bring us back down to the 50 EMA, -14% about the 100 EMA, right? On the weekly, there is weakness. Okay, this is consolidating. The RSI is losing momentum on the weekly, all right? So a pullback is probably in order eventually, right, in the next couple of months, okay? All right, let's move on very quickly. Just take a quick look at U.S. oil. All right, U.S. oil. Turn off all this stuff. Just look at pure price action. What happened on U.S. oil? Yes, we've been uptrending for like 1.5 years, right? But we do have a double top here in the price at $51 on U.S. oil. $51. Okay, even more so on a weekly chart. I'm using a line chart so you can clearly see the double top at $51. Okay, right at our resistance zone. Right, so what needs to happen on oil? All right, again, look at this bearish divergence, and we just had a MACD EMA down cross, right? On the weekly, this is a signal, a negative signal. Okay, gotta watch out for this. Watch out. All right. We don't want to get too greedy in the markets. We don't want to get too greedy. Want to watch out for that. Again, we had a short-term EMA down cross right here. So price action, what does that mean? We went from higher highs to higher lows to higher highs, higher low, but then we made a lower high. So a lower low on oil is possible, and that would bring down other assets. So watch out for that. Okay. Next, UNG, natural gas ETF. All right. So we hit our topside target, our resistance target of $15. Essentially, right? 1465, 1468, close enough, right? The upside down head and shoulders has almost been completed. 1559 is the topside target, but a little bit concerned about, yep, we hit that weekly weekly overbought condition on natural gas, hitting this topside resistance level. Is it over? Not completely, but there are some warning signs on the charts that the rally in natural gas might be slowing down. Okay? So, yes, it is totally plausible that if we Fibonacci this, we get a pullback down to 12 or down to $11, because once we get a golden cross, we want to watch for this setup. -10 to -20% to the downside over time, over several months, right? That could happen. It could happen. So watch out for that. Really quick, DXY. DXY, again, our topside target for DXY, the US dollar currency index, is still 93.37. Again, this is a W pattern in progress. It's essentially completing, right? So we want to watch out for the 4% to the top side, right? Which would bring the entire market down. $97, whole easy number, right? $97. Okay? That would mean the index would fall 3%, S&P 500, essentially. So you want to watch out for that. Okay, we're still in this higher high, higher low. Bounced off this 200 EMA, and now price is making moves. We had an RSI reset on the daily. This is very clear, right? Yep, higher high, higher low off this EMA up cross. Want to watch out for that. Okay, want to watch out for that. All right, let's quickly go to Bitcoin. All right, everybody's favorite crypto here, king of crypto. We actually use there we go. So this is what the analysis we had last time, okay? So if somebody, remember, this is just education only, but this is the setup, right? So we looked at it about here, August 1st, August 2nd, when we're about 42,000. And then I said, it's going to pull back down to this EMA range in blue, okay? Exactly how I said. It's going to pull back down here and then bounce. Why? Because the 200 EMA likes to get tested, the red line. All right, so I drew that here. And so if anyone went long here, right, they might be up 10%. Possible. But the problem is if we just look at the analysis we just did and then insert Bitcoin as an asset, right, we might pull back on Bitcoin. This might be, a short-term lower high. Okay, it might be this, right? If this is higher highs and higher lows on the left side, right? This lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So we're scouting where is the lower high before we pull back down. Okay? So we just want to watch out in this zone. So the obvious spot is 45,000. Next resistance of 50,000. Nice easy whole numbers. Right? And then we have support at 40,000. Right? Then 35, then 30, strong minor supports, right? So these are the levels we're playing off of, but our targets hit, so I'm going to erase this, okay? As a 10% setup. This was a little bit tricky. This is probably market makers and algos trying to trick people out of their position on Bitcoin right here. Right here, in this 37 range, all right? But it looks like Bitcoin is trying to make one more run up, maybe to 45,000 before it tops out, and then significantly pulls back down when the rest of the market pulls back down. So there are short-term opportunity trades in here, but if somebody's, it's all about the no FOMO, right? No FOMO. So we don't want to FOMO here and then have the whole market crash on us, right? So just watch out for that, is what I'm saying. But it's that was a nice 10%, right? So this is the, right here. Somebody needed a 4% stop loss, not a 3%, right? Usually it's like 7% for swing trading, maybe 10%, right? 6%, 7%, right? If we bring up the ATR, let's bring up the ATR on Bitcoin. Bring up the ATR, and 2285 is our number. Okay, so I'm going to leave that ATR there. 2285. Right, so bring up a calculator. 2286 divided by, what's the price right now for 2931? So 5%, 5.3%, right? That's why we need a 6% stop loss, because on the day, this ATR as of right now is saying Bitcoin moves up basically 5.3% up or down on average. All right. So now we're going to start using 6% stop losses. Okay. Which means that we try to get a 2-to-1, right? So you try to get 12% and risk 6% on whatever capital, small amount of capital you're using, right? So the problem with going long at the top sides, right, on if you're just FOMOing right now, which you never want to do, right? But you have to, your target would be 48,000, which could happen, but we need global buyers to push your price up 12%, right? So it's always better to buy at some kind of support on the downside, right? So just at 200 EMA or just below that 200 EMA, that the 12 and 26 EMAs are better for trading, for support levels. So that works. Okay, 37K. But I'm going to take this off now because that trade is done. Right. What is interesting to note, though, is in the weekly, we do have bullish MACD divergence. Okay, so if we compare, let's say, the S&P 500, compare the S&P 500, where you have essentially have bearish MACD divergence, right? Triple bearish MACD divergence. But on Bitcoin, you have bullish MACD divergence, right? Down here, just one set. It's mixed. It looks like Bitcoin wants to rally a little bit more, but the stock market looks like it wants to pull back down. So I want to be very careful. I want to be very careful. All right, it's basically mixed right now. So I want to watch out for that. All right, next, let's do Ethereum. Okay, wait, let me finish Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, where are the targets? Well, look at it daily. Remember, we're just going in easy whole number increments here. All right. 45,000. 45,000 could be our topside target. If this higher high, higher low, it's trying to find a higher high, obviously at 45K. Right? 45K. If not, this could pull back, right? We get a little bit of bearish MACD divergence, which could be happening soon, right? Then we get a pullback probably down to the 50 EMA, like 37 over the next couple of weeks, right? So it's basically plus or minus 6% on Bitcoin, basically right now. Okay, next, Ethereum, everybody's favorite darling right now. Look at this, our target's being hit. Okay, so another topside target is 3141. How did I find that? We looked at this W double bottom pattern, okay, and measure 33%. 33% would be our topside target at at 3,098. 3,098, all right? Right there. So again, a little bit of bearish MACD divergence it has been a little bit overextended. It's almost 50% from the lows, right? Or to be exact, we're up 64%, 65% on Ethereum, which is significant. Significant rally, right? Hitting that 382. So it looks like the 236 and this 3094 level could be our topside target. Okay? Let's look at Doge. So if, again, these targets still hold. So Ethereum, 3,123 is the topside target, so 10%, and then probably negative 10% back down to this EMA, 2,577 is the downside target. Here we go. All right, let's use old Doge USD chart. Oh, there's a better one than this. This is the Bittrex chart. Yeah. So here we are on Dogecoin. Dogecoin. Let me go ahead and reset. Let me reset this. All right. Look at this pattern. Very, very clear downward sloping wedge with the breakout. Sideways consolidation breakout. Okay, they're not perfect and it wasn't retested, but it broke out to the right. Let's get our pandemic low to pandemic high Fibonacci levels in here. I'm looking at a log chart to make it easy. So the log chart's off now. For Doge, I think I have to use a log chart because of the powerful explosive moves. So again, broken out to the side. This could be some kind of baby upside down head and shoulders forming, right? It's not clear though. This is not really perfect though because this valley right here is not really usable. Right, so it's dirty. But I would say it's more like a double bottom bounce, right? Double bottom off of 16 cents, 17 cents, and we broke out to this side. And now it wants to EMA up cross, right? It's stuck at the 200 EMA, all these EMAs down here. So it looks like the target right here is 27 cents, 27, 26 cents. Okay, so if the rally continues, but if this is a bull case that I'm drawing right here, right? You put your 10%. Stop loss and try to get 3 to 1 on your money, right? ATR is 2 cents. So that's 10%, right? So 10% movement. So you have to have a 10% or 11% stop loss, right? So very interesting, but again, we're not seeing that much buying on this side, right? We had tons of buying in April right here from 7 cents to 75 cents. Which was absolutely beautiful, right? And then lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It's trying to establish a lower high. It could just go 10% and stop, right? Because we have to look at it in the greater context of the market is that the market could be primed for a pullback down. Crypto wants to go up. It would be interesting if crypto goes up while the market goes down. That'd be very interesting, right? Very interesting. All right, let's look at Binance Coin. Okay, so these are our targets. Upside target, 25%, downside target, and negative 20%. So it's plus or minus 20% on Dogecoin. All right, so we're playing between these two levels right now, and then we'll check back. All right, are these two levels in blue? All right, let's look at Binance. We have to look at USDT. All right, so Binance on a beautiful run. All right, we'll just Fibonacci for some quick support levels and zoom in. All right, and there was this pattern, this triangle pattern, not here, here. Okay. Right, and a breakout, just like Dogecoin. Everything's following Bitcoin, right? And so we have a short-term EMA cross right here, and stuck between the 100 and 200 EMAs. Actually broke above the 100 EMA to be exact, right? So all these pivot points on the top side. If we look at Fibonacci pivot points, Yep. So it looks like, what's the ATR? 18 bucks. All right, let's do a quick calculation of the ATR to figure out the volatility on this guy. 80 bucks. 4. So 5.2%, just like Bitcoin. Right? So somebody needs a 6% stop loss, minimum 12% to the top side. Target, right, is in order. And that makes perfect sense. It is plus or minus 10% or 8%, really. Really. And so Binance Coin did have this, it could be a triple bottom, right? Right here. Strong support at the $250 range. $250 range. And it's trying to make lower, low, lower, high, lower. It's tightening and then trying to find its higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. It's trying to reverse its trend, right? It went from low, high, low, then tighten, and then higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. So it's probably trying to make this pattern and break out of here. Trying to target, it's right at the 50 and the 382 Fibonacci levels. So these are our targets. The downside target would be the 618 down here. All right. The immediate support is in this hidden pivot point as well. So those are the 3 levels we're playing off of. Okay. Very interesting. Again, what's trying to happen in this market. All right. If we switch to a weekly and check this, there's a little bit of momentum building, but we shall see. We shall see. It's a nicer color on screen. All right. Just want to watch out for that. It did bounce off its weekly 618 several times. So bulls trying to negate this head and shoulders pattern. That's exactly what's happening. People are not done with crypto yet. Okay, so let's go into some individual stocks that I know had action this week. And again, if you are watching this and you're a real human being, you're not a robot or algorithm bot, right? If you're a real person, go ahead and type a stock or crypto that you want to see analyzed in the chat box. You know, if you like this free analysis and education, go ahead and drop me a follow on Twitch and YouTube. We're just trying to build a community of professionals and enthusiasts of technical analysis charts here. And we're trying to get the truth out there, the facts out there, right? Because the news media is always trying to manipulate people into doing something with their stock portfolios and their trading accounts, right? So we're trying to use the truth here of charts. All right, that's what we're trying to do. Okay, so the big stock of this week was Robinhood. Okay, let me erase everything. Let's look at Robinhood. Okay, Robinhood closed at $55 today. What a week of trading, right? Very nice. All right, so on the daily chart, there's not much information, so we'll Fibonacci from the bottom to the top. All-time low to all-time high year to date. This is the information that we have so far. And so when we have an IPO like this, it's a hot stock and there's no information, we have to go inside intraday, okay? Intraday. The 4-hour is still uptrending, technically, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, large higher low. Will a higher high be set above 85 to 100? Maybe. Maybe. Again, it's a meme stock. Okay, but if we look at the hourly though, we did see a bit of a RSI reset from the rally this week. Okay, very, very beautiful rally. Then, but we have the short-term EMA down cross. All right, and then a reversal, the 618 at $50, up a nice 20% from top to bottom of that range, so possibly a 10% easy amount right there. Okay, we have to zoom in even further. Okay, but if we look at here, we went from higher highs, higher lows, uptrend, and then I knew the reversal was coming on Robinhood on August 4, August 5. Why? Because we had a top, double top here, and this turned out to be head and shoulders. Double tap and head and shoulders, right? And if you measure this, that's why technical analysis works. Okay, 7%. Excuse me, 12%. The ruler works correctly. 12%, right? So when this neckline broke down, where do we go? Hold on. Use a clearer neckline, right? There we go. 25%. I remember this. And then we went down almost 20%. Okay, so the head and shoulders came true. Then, why did we reverse down here? Because we had RSI oversold conditions down here, right at this line. Right at this line. Right there at the beginning, towards the end of August 5th. So that's yesterday. So Thursday, close of session, right? And then we had a rally up. So again, we don't need to get confused with all these lines. So we had that top there. The head and shoulders brought us back down to $50 range, but that was the 618. And then we had RSI oversold conditions, which sets us up for a potential bounce, right? So this was an uptrend for the first half of the week. Then it turned into a downtrend for the second half of the week. Then we had a little bit of bottoming out action on Robinhood. And then higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low still, and lower high, higher low. So what is happening right now is equilibrium setting up for next week. Setting up literally for next week. So there could be, if this works properly, 10% to 15. So maybe like 12% plus or minus from this current price target of $55, right? So let's do 10%. It's conservative. 61.22 topside target in the bull case. If we have bear breakdown, let's see something bad happens to the market. 10% down, bring us down to 49, basically 50. So we're going to 60 or 50 on Robinhood right now. All right, so $5 increments, everybody. Not rocket science. It's not rocket science. I know this looks like a lot of chicken scratch, but this is how we get some basic levels. Okay, let me go ahead and adjust the session breaks. Yeah. I'll put it in blue. It's easier to see. The dark blue. Dark purple. Yeah. So that's better. That's way easier to see. The blue is the pre-market. The purple is the post-market. So again, we had some pre-market continuation, right? Today, this is today, right here, August 5th to August 6th, right? This is today. It's that reversal on Robinhood. Also, what we could draw here is this trend line actually goes all the way down here. Very nice. This trend line can extend all the way up here too. So we could draw these out way out here for another day or two. So it fell back down, and then we found a support level down here. And it's high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, and then tightening up for next week. With $5 increment zones, okay? Let's see on the daily ATR. So 1 hour, this thing is moving $2.60. So again, got a calculator. 260 divided by 55. So Robinhood is making at least 5% moves on the hour, right? So if someone were to go long next Monday, right, their target should be 10%, which would be $60, 61, and 5% to the downside for a trade, for a swing trade example, right, on Robinhood. That would be it. Right, that's the setup. Very simple. It doesn't have to be rocket science, right? Because it's 618, and then the target would be the 50% right here. So 7 to 10% to the top side if this continues. If not, obviously retesting the 618 to the bottom, $51.68, right? But you have to watch out because the general price action is this up like this. So if it's high, low, high, low, high, low, high, and then boom, like that, all right? It could just be finding a lower high, right? So bull scenario is this, higher high, like on a day chart, right, or a weekly chart eventually, right? Retesting the $80 range would not surprise me because of meme stock, right? Not everybody in the whole world knows about Robinhood, because we're not having GameStop AMC levels, because you know, Robinhood doesn't have billions of users, they have millions of users. So there could still be some room on Robinhood. But at the same time though, we have to be careful of this falling back down, right? So again, you have to watch Robinhood very closely. Technically, what is happening? Right? We had our 15-minute oversold conditions. The RSI is in the middle, midpoint. Hourly does have momentum. That's about all the information we have. Right? But with the 618 bounce, let's see how strong that's going to be. How long, how many days that lasts for. All right? So that's the analysis on Robinhood. Again, this is a free analysis. Okay, just for educational purposes, I'm reviewing my trades. I made money on Robinhood trading this week. And it was a good week. But at the same time, if we look at the indexes, it could pull back. I want to watch out for that. All right, next, what was hot this week? AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. All right, we're on the day chart. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Turn everything off. And where do we stand? Well, AMD used to be basically in this parallel channel here, like so. Let me tighten this up to get the touch points in there, like that, just like that. It used to be in this parallel channel here, okay? And on the weekly, that was almost a dangerous head and shoulders, almost, okay? But thankfully, again, bulls saved it. Okay, it hit that support level at where? $74, $75, which usually sounds, you know, still sounds kind of like discounted AMD. Because AMD wants to be a $100 stock. And so that's exactly what happened. We pulled back this year from February down to $75, rallied up, tested the middle heart line, and then completed that bull move. Oh, and there was momentum building on the weekly as well. So that's why traders, swing traders, option traders, they all got on the hype train of AMD. Okay. So what's next for AMD? Well, we want to watch out a little bit. Okay, it is a little bit overextended to the top side. Just looking at moving average analysis, right? It isn't a golden cross. Still saved, right? Short-term EMAs are up, higher high, low, high, low, high. So a higher low would be an order somewhere in the upper. Probably retesting 100 is going to be that target. Retesting 100. Very simple. Yeah, and that pivot point is 100. So it looks like AMD is trying to pull back down, have an RSI reset almost. Yeah, 15 minutes down cross. So again, it looks like it wants to go down. There was a head and shoulders on the 1 hour. Okay, on the intraday here. So again, if you look at the price of the 1 hour, okay, you don't even need EMAs. Just look at the price. You draw one trend line and everything comes clear, right? Like that. I don't know what this alert is. What is this alert? Oh, it's the parallel channel. Okay, very simple. You just watch the 1 hour chart. For swing trading, 1 hour, 4 hour, right? So this was beautiful, beautiful, almost like robot algorithmic trading, 31% in a week. It's 3 years of stock gains in 1 week. That's why AMD absolutely phenomenal. Reddit traders, meme traders, loving it. Okay, but we had a bear breakdown. Went from high to high-low, uptrend. It's a higher low, but then a lower high, and this head and shoulders has taken place right at this neckline. All right, so if we measure this move, 10%, AMD could pull back 10%, exactly right down to $99 to $100. You want to watch out for that. You want to watch out for that potential short setup. Right, you gotta make the call. Right, on the hourly, what's $1.26? ATR, average true range. So $1.26 divided by current stock price. That makes sense. $1.26 divided by current stock price. 1% move on the hour, right? So 10% is kind of extreme, but yeah, I would target the 200 EMA right here. So, 2% stop loss. That might be really small, but very conservative. So somewhere here would be the downside target, like 6%, right? So maybe a 3% stop loss just for AMD. So that would be an interesting short setup. See if this target happens to hit. Right, we're playing those two levels, 114, and we're playing 102 to like 100 on the short side to the downside. All right, but AMD, again, looking like it wants to pull back a little bit. There might be a short-term bounce up on the 15-minute, but over time, we might see AMD drop next week. All right, what else went crazy this week? AMC, you can look at AMC in space, right? Look at meme stocks, just whatever moves, right? So let's go to space first so we don't get confused. Let's go to Virgin Galactic. All right, Virgin Galactic. Again, obviously related to the successful space launch, right? Which the orbit, which is still boggles my mind that somebody went to the edges of space and survived, right? But if you look at a weekly, very interesting price action. Look at this Fibonacci from bottom to top on a logarithmic scale. Is this a potential upside down head and shoulders? Maybe. If it is, we're right at that cusp. 91%. That's not impossible. That would bring us up to like $66 on space. It's an interesting target. The retest of all-time highs. Possible. If that's the bull case. Right, the bear case would be retest of this lower trend line down here. So that would be somewhere in like the 20s, like 25-ish. Retest of this 618, 2574. So we're playing between these two levels right now. But if we look at the monthly, it's still in a monthly uptrend. Okay, so space is not over yet. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Higher low, it's trying to make a higher high up to $55.64 over time. But there is some bearish MACD momentum on downside. Did have that pullback. But yeah, they had earnings. We had earnings, which turned out to be not good. And they're selling space tickets at $450K a piece, which is a ridiculous price. You have to be a billionaire to fly, basically, into space right now. It possibly survive. All right. But again, the EPS missed that target. which most people, most traders, most investors, they want to see positive EPS. All right, but the good thing that's happening right now is we do have positive MACD divergence. So it looks like space trying to again retest the top of its ascending channel, or the wedge, right? It's basically ascending channel. Okay, so the two targets, draw it. We have our first bull target up here at like 64, probably 50 is the first target on the way up. I might erase this second yellow line. So you're just looking at these yellow lines, right? That would coincide. It's still golden crossed up on the EMAs and our pivots. Yeah, it looks like it wants to break through the pivot at some point. It wants to, right? So we survived this earnings. We didn't crash down, right, to 20, right, which would be a huge crash. So that didn't happen. So it looks like it's trying to establish a higher low, and then it's got to retest the higher high at upper 50s. Okay, next, AMD. No, AMC. AMC Entertainment Movies. All right. I always do analysis on this one. So, first thing first is support and resistance, right? Resistance at $72. It's crazy. I'm looking at log scale too right now. This very, very steep trend line on the log trend line. Now it's making sense, right? So right here, the $30 range where we are for AMC is very suspicious. Okay. So again, on the day chart, we have an EMA down cross, and the 200 is right here at $22, right? So that could be the next target to the downside. So if we lose this trend line, this could be bad for AMC. If we lose the trend line, this could be bad for AMC. I'm talking about right here on this zone, right? Earnings is coming up soon, August 9th. That's Monday. 6, 7, 8, 9, Monday. So that's what the traders are watching out for. All right, so if we have, let's play two scenarios. If we have good earnings, start with the bull case, right? Just for a short-term pop. Then most likely, the pivot would be the target of 25%. So then we put a 10% stop loss, and this thing moves $5 on average on the daily. Gotta trust the calculator up again. $5, the Bob I rounded, $33. 15% psychotic. All right, so this is a trade you want to use like low amounts of capital, right? If the ATR is that strong, right? $5 moves. This means a highly volatile stock. That's why it's a meme stock. $5, $33, 15%, right? So which means you probably, if you're investing in this, like you're trying to actually invest in it, right? You might need the full bear market stop loss, right? So it's not really the greatest risk trade, but yeah, 12% to 24, at least a 2 to 1. Okay, so just want to watch out for that. It's stuck at the support level again. If it had bad earnings, then the downside target is this pivot point, $25, right here. Topside target of 42. Very simple. Very simple. But it is a little bit overextended, and it's losing momentum on the weekly. So this meme stock is losing a little bit of momentum and hype, probably because Robinhood showed up. Again, lower low, lower high, lower low, trying to scat the lower high right before earnings. So very interesting. AMC, those are our two targets. Okie dokie. All right, next, GameStop. Let's do the OG. GameStop. Okay, let me redo my analysis. I'm on a log chart because of the magnitude of the moves. Now again, GameStop, its highest high was about $500 almost. Okay, maybe intermediate support somewhere around 130, maybe like 140 range. It's just where we are right now. Then there's not much support down to 40. That's pretty scary, okay? In terms of trading, like if you have no support, that's really bad. Again, if you draw this larger term triangle here, there are other intermediate triangles if you do candle wick triangles as such. Right, there's that one. So there's so many trend lines here. I'm not going to draw this bottom trend line. It looks confusing. Right, so there's this that exists. Right, this setup exists. So it could be viewed as like a larger downward angle channel or wedge, right? There's so many interpretations of this, but we look at price for the final, right? So it did essentially double top around the $244 range, okay? 244. Although we do have a double bottom on the RSI, and earnings is on the end of August. It's like 3 weeks from now. Earnings. Right. Very interesting. Very interesting. Right. This price action is kind of weak though. So again, GameStop losing momentum as a meme stock, right? It's not going to be tradable forever. Because not everybody likes it. Right. It's kind of expensive and it's overplayed. But these are the levels we're watching out for, okay? It isn't a short-term down cross, just like AMC. Testing is 200 EMA. Below the pivot point. Okay? So, it looks like what it wants to do here is this. If the support holds, okay? If you look at the ATR, 1270. 1270. Average true range. 1270 divided by what's the price? 151.77. It's 8.4%. Basically 10% moves. Average daily. Right? So you have to do 2 to 1. Right? So this is the trade setup. Again, the pivot is the very suspicious target. Okay, the pivot point right here, 175 is our target, and their downside target would be probably this downward support level. Immediate right here at 137. Right. Immediate right here at 158. Right. So these are the 4 levels we're playing off of right now. Again, it's in a short-term downtrend. Low, high, low, high, lower, low. GameStop looks like it wants to set its lower lower high, meaning it wants to go up 7-8%, just like its ATR. Right. And there is triple bullish MACD divergence. So GameStop with the possible reversal up any day now. Possibly, it could be, let's say, it could be a sympathy play. Like, if AMC has really good earnings on Monday, then GameStop is probably following in its footsteps, sympathy play. Up 8%. Possibly. Hey, excuse me. I get some water. Could be very interesting. GameStop. Alrighty. Okay, we'll look at one more and then we'll close out. All right, what we forgot to look at is gold. We'll look at gold and silver and then we'll stop. All right, so let's look at gold on the Wanda. All right, look at this. Look at this. Let me hide everything and just look at the price. Turn off everything so you just get pure price. Gold with the reversal down, right? Bear breakdown. Why? Because we had a double top right here at 1,834. We're here for a double bottom to double top. It's testing about that 618 range again. So again, our downside target would be still 1720. Alrighty. How did I find that? Fibonacci. Fibonacci from down here, this double bottom, to the swing high again, right into the 618. Okay. And you had bearish MACD divergence to the downside. Bearish MACD divergence down to the downside. Four-hour price. Interesting, 4-hour RSI oversold. 1-hour RSI oversold. 15-minute RSI oversold but bounced up. Around the 6.8. So we might see a reversal, a short-term reversal. But look at price action. It went from lower low, lower highs to higher high, higher low to a lower high. Right? So that's kind of really choppy, to be honest. Price. Very suspicious activity. So it looks like there's some more downward pressure. It wouldn't be surprising though if we ended up doing this with the price on gold up to 1903. It wouldn't be surprising because if the market crashes, people might buy gold. So it could be a reversal. It just looks like it's gonna crash, but the market's gonna catch it at the 618 level down here, possibly at 1763. So this would be interesting. Long setup, risky but very interesting. What's the ATR? $53. Let's get some accurate numbers for my viewers here. 53 divided by 1913. 3%, basically 3%. So with 3% to the downside risk, try to get 6%, which would bring us right down to this. Bring us right up to the 236 Fibonacci level. Right here, this upper blue one. Okay, so I'm just gonna erase and just leave two targets like this. Okay, so potentially what could happen on gold is this 6%. All right, bull case, this thing could go up 6% right to here, right to 1850. If that doesn't happen, then we have a bear break down to 1710. That's the setup. Next, silver. Silver, all right, so we hit our downside target in the middle heart line, and it's pulling back down. Let's see, we're on a weekly chart right now. On the day chart, what's going on? Just lost a little bit of that momentum. The RSI finding support down there. Just checking that. Okay, so yeah, gold and silver are moving in tandem together. Again, we had this triangle set up on silver, and we lost it. So again, it looks like right here, it looks like it's scouting the lower low, right? If you just look at this price right here, okay? Lower low, lower high, lower low. So it looks like it wants to establish a lower high. Short-term bounce, very, very short-term. What's the average true rate? 54 cents. There's very, very small moves on the daily. 54 cents. There's 2% move on silver. Silver. So we try to make 4% and risk 2% on the downside. That's the setup. Very, very simple. So it probably looks like it wants to retest 2537 again. So essentially it wants to do this and then retest here. That's probably what it's going to do. That's the bull case. Okay, in the bear case, I'm going to move this. Make this tighter. It's like that. These are the targets. 2393 to the downside, 2541 to the upside, and if it keeps going, 2645 up here. Okay, these are the levels we're playing on silver. All right, so that's our hour session for today. Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you like this content and you want to support me somehow, go ahead and drop me a follow, a comment on my Twitch and YouTube channels, No FOMO Charts. If you have a question, please ask in the chat box for stock charts or crypto charts for next time, next live stream. And again, I am doing active investing and trading myself, so I can't make these videos like every single day because I'm working and trading on my own account. These are just for education only. This is not financial advice. Happy trading, happy weekend, and see you next week for the closing week of earnings, 2021. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.